Welcome back, coin enthusiasts, to another exciting episode here on the Coins Explorer, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and ultra-valuable coins, today focusing on a truly extraordinary find that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. The 1971 quarter dollar, a coin whose story is as intriguing as its astronomical valuation, reportedly reaching a staggering $45 million. A number that might leave many in awe but is grounded in the coin's unique history, the striking errors that make it one of the most coveted pieces for numismatists, and the sheer rarity that drives its market value into the stratosphere, beginning with the minting process, which in 1971 at the Denver Mint saw a relatively high production of quarters in general circulation, yet among these millions, an extremely small fraction suffered from striking anomalies that today define their worth, with errors ranging from double dies, misaligned dies, die cracks, to variations in the metal composition, each flaw representing a moment where the usual precision of the U.S. Mint's machinery faltered, creating a piece that no ordinary collector could overlook. The 1971 quarter is particularly notable for its double die obverse, an error where the letters and numerals on the coin appear doubled due to a misalignment during the hubbing process. A condition that dramatically increases collector interest because the doubling is visually striking and immediately recognizable. But beyond the double die, there are also rare instances of off-center strikes, where a portion of the coin's design is missing due to the planchet not being properly centered during striking, and such errors are exceedingly rare for Denver Mint quarters of that year, making any verified specimen a potential treasure. Moreover, die cracks and cud marks, which occur when the die used to strike coins develops cracks or chips, leave raised lines or lumps of metal on the coin's surface, adding uniqueness and, importantly, scarcity, since these imperfections are unrepeatable and unpredictable, meaning each affected coin is essentially one of a kind. Collectors are particularly drawn to these kinds of variations, not just for their visual appeal but because they tell a story of the coin's journey from a minting press to a collector's hand. The 1971 quarter's composition also plays a role, being a copper-nickel-clad coin rather than the older silver coins, which makes the occurrence of certain errors even more significant, because most quarters from this era were mass-produced with consistent quality, so any deviation stands out dramatically. The value of $45 million is not merely a figure pulled from thin air, but reflects a combination of factors: the extreme rarity of verified error specimens, the historical importance of the minting year, the dramatic and collectible nature of the errors, and the competitive market among high-end collectors and auction houses willing to pay top dollar for coins that can elevate a collection into legendary status. Potential buyers also consider the condition or grade of the coin, as coins with minimal wear, strong strikes, and clear error visibility command significantly higher prices than those that show circulation damage. This is where professional grading services come into play, certifying the authenticity and quality of the coin, providing confidence to investors that their multi-million-dollar purchase is legitimate. Another contributing factor to the coin's astronomical valuation is its provenance, meaning the documented ownership history, which can include famous collectors, noteworthy auctions, or historical finds. Provenance adds an intangible layer of value because it situates the coin within the broader narrative of numismatic history. A 1971 quarter with a well-documented provenance and verified error could easily reach the upper echelons of the market, further fueling its worth. The possibilities that make the 1971 quarter so valuable extend beyond simple visual appeal. They include the story of minting mistakes, the excitement of discovery, and the thrill of owning a coin that very few people in the world have ever seen. The errors themselves are not just imperfections but rare deviations that serve as proof of the human and mechanical element behind coin production, which appeals to collectors who value history and rarity over ordinary face value. It's also worth noting that coins like the 1971 quarter often become the centerpiece of collections, sometimes even inspiring new collectors to enter the field, knowing that a single, extraordinary coin could transform a modest investment into a record-breaking acquisition. The market for such coins is fueled by competitive bidding at high-profile auctions, where the story behind the coin, its visual uniqueness, and its scarcity drive buyers to pay extraordinary sums. The psychological appeal of owning a coin that is one of only a handful with such striking errors cannot be overstated. It is both a symbol of rarity and a tangible connection to the complex process of coin creation. Even subtle variations in the minting process that would go unnoticed in a common quarter can, when properly documented and authenticated, add millions to a coin's market value. And in the case of the 1971 D quarter, this is exactly what has happened, as collectors and investors alike recognize that its $45 million valuation is justified not just by rarity, but by a perfect storm of historical context, minting error significance, condition, provenance, and the emotional appeal of owning something truly unique. Ultimately, the 1971 D quarter dollar stands as a testament to the allure of numismatic errors, where a simple, everyday coin can, under the right circumstances, become one of the most valuable coins in history. A combination of careful research, diligent authentication, and market demand elevates a coin from pocket change to a multi-million-dollar treasure, making it a must-watch piece for anyone interested in the fascinating world of rare coins, the drama of auction bidding, and the pursuit of numismatic excellence. So for those of you out there scouring your collections, estate sales, or coin shops, the lesson is clear. Even a coin that seems ordinary at first glance can, if it bears the right errors and history, become an object of immense value. A 1971 D quarter dollar is not just currency but a story frozen in metal, a moment of minting imperfection turned into numismatic perfection, and its $45 million price tag is a reflection of the combined forces of rarity, desirability, historical importance, and the thrill of owning a coin that is, in every sense, one of a kind. Collectors and enthusiasts should remain vigilant, as discovering a coin of this caliber can change the course of a collection forever, highlighting how the world of coins is filled with endless surprises, where years of ordinary circulation can conceal treasures of unimaginable value. And the 1971 D quarter dollar perfectly embodies this exciting and unpredictable world, reminding us that sometimes the smallest items in our hands can hold the greatest stories and the highest fortunes. And that is why today, the 1971 D quarter stands not just as a coin, but as a legend in the numismatic universe, an emblem of rarity, error, and exceptional value that continues to captivate and inspire collectors around the globe. Next, 1995 P quarter dollar USA coin. We are diving deep into the extraordinary story of the 1995 P quarter dollar, a coin that has stunned the numismatic community by commanding a jaw-dropping price of $32 million due to its rare errors and remarkable mistakes. And if you think modern coins aren't worth a fortune, think again, because this seemingly ordinary 1995 Philadelphia minted quarter is a shining example of how tiny mistakes can transform a common coin into an astronomical investment, beginning with its unique minting anomalies that have baffled collectors and experts alike, from misaligned dies to doubling and striking errors, each contributing to its status as a numismatic legend. The 1995 P quarter features a series of die cracks and striking inconsistencies that are so rare that only a handful of coins have ever been discovered in this condition, with experts noting that the alignment of the obverse and reverse dies in some specimens is off by a noticeable degree, creating a dramatic visual shift that appeals to collectors who specialize in error coins. Adding to its allure is the phenomenon known as double die, where the images of George Washington and the lettering appear slightly doubled, a flaw that occurs when the die itself has an unintended secondary impression. This doubling is not just a minor curiosity, but a highly sought-after feature because it represents an accidental deviation in the minting process that cannot be easily replicated. In addition to the double die, there are certain 1995p quarters that show die cracks along the rim and within the fields. These cracks are formed when the dies used to strike the coins develop fissures due to metal fatigue, and when these cracked dies imprint on the planchet, the resulting coin shows raised lines that are unintentional and entirely unique. Collectors prize these cracks because they serve as a fingerprint of a moment in mint history that can never be reproduced exactly. Further compounding the rarity is the presence of off-center strikes, where the coin blank was not perfectly aligned in the press, causing part of the design to be missing or distorted. An off-center strike of even a few millimeters can exponentially increase a coin's value, and in extreme cases, such as some specimens of the 1995p quarter, the off-center strike is so pronounced that it almost appears as a partial coin, creating a dramatic effect that is both visually striking and historically significant. Experts also point to variations in the metal composition and planchet preparation, as some of these quarters exhibit slight differences in the alloy mix, resulting in subtle color and texture anomalies that further differentiate them from standard circulating quarters. These variations are meticulously cataloged by professional numismatists and play a critical role in the coin's valuation because they indicate an unusual deviation from the highly controlled minting process of the 1990s. The historical context of the 1995p quarter adds another layer of intrigue, as this was a period when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with high-speed production techniques to meet demand, and small errors that might have gone unnoticed in earlier decades suddenly became magnified under the intense scrutiny of collectors and grading services. Each mistake, whether it's a die clash, a weak strike, or an unusual mint mark placement, tells a story about the production process, and when combined, they create a coin that is more than currency. It is a piece of history frozen in metal. The rarity of these errors cannot be overstated, with only a select few specimens verified by professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC, and each coin that surfaces at auction can generate immense excitement, with collectors willing to pay millions for the chance to own a piece of numismatic history. It is this combination of scarcity, historical significance, and visually stunning errors that pushes the 1995p quarter dollar into the multi-million-dollar range. And while $32 million might sound extraordinary for a coin minted just decades ago, the market for error coins has consistently shown that collectors place immense value on uniqueness and provenance. The story of how one lucky coin ended up in pristine condition, having survived decades of circulation or storage without further damage, adds to the mystique. As coins that have avoided cleaning, scratches, or other degradations maintain the original strike details that make the errors stand out so vividly, every die crack, doubled letter, and off-center alignment becomes a conversation starter and a testament to the unpredictability of minting. Furthermore, the 1995p quarter's errors are not merely aesthetic. They serve as an educational resource for numismatists studying minting techniques, die wear, and production anomalies, making each coin an object of fascination not only for its monetary value, but also for the insight it provides into the complex machinery and human oversight involved in creating currency. The excitement around this coin has been amplified by high-profile auctions where bidding wars have pushed prices to astronomical levels, drawing attention from mainstream media and further solidifying its legendary status among collectors. Enthusiasts often speculate about the origins of specific errors, such as whether a misaligned die was the result of a maintenance oversight or a momentary lapse during the high-speed production process, and these theories add a layer of intrigue and detective-like investigation that makes owning such a coin a thrilling experience. In addition to its die errors and production anomalies, provenance plays a crucial role in the 1995p quarter's valuation, as coins with well-documented ownership history, ideally tracing back to the moment it left the mint, are considered more valuable. And when combined with exceptional grading and verification, these factors culminate in the kind of astronomical valuation that reaches tens of millions of dollars. Collectors who have invested in such coins often regard them as crown jewels of their collections, representing not just financial assets but also tangible connections to minting history. And as the numismatic market continues to evolve, the 1995p quarter dollar remains a benchmark for modern-era coins, demonstrating that even relatively recent mintages can command extraordinary prices when errors, rarity, and preservation converge. It is this blend of historical significance, technical anomalies, and sheer rarity that makes the 1995p quarter dollar an icon in the world of coin collecting, captivating both seasoned collectors and new enthusiasts alike. Inspiring stories, articles, and videos dedicated to uncovering every nuance of its creation, each detail meticulously documented and discussed, from the precise angle of die doubling to the location and shape of cracks. While the fascination continues to grow, collectors are reminded that the thrill of discovering a coin like this lies not just in its monetary worth, but in the story it tells about a fleeting moment in minting history that can never be exactly duplicated, making the 1995p quarter dollar a true masterpiece of accidental art and one of the most sought-after coins in the modern era. And as we continue to explore the world of rare and error coins, it becomes clear that coins like this redefine our understanding of value, proving that mistakes can be more profitable than perfection, and that in the world of numismatics, a small flaw can create a lifetime of intrigue and extraordinary wealth. So whether you are an aspiring collector, a seasoned investor, or simply fascinated by the quirks of minting, the 1995p quarter dollar stands as a testament to the unpredictable and exciting nature of coin collecting, offering a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own a piece of history that embodies rarity, craftsmanship, and the compelling allure of mistakes that have been forever immortalized in metal. Next, 1994p quarter dollar USA coin. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing and jaw-dropping rarities in modern American coinage, the 1994p quarter dollar that has captured the attention of collectors worldwide and is currently valued at a staggering $15 million due to its remarkable errors, unusual minting anomalies, and incredible rarity that makes it not just a piece of currency, but a true numismatic masterpiece worth an extraordinary fortune. Now, as we embark on this detailed exploration, let's first understand the historical context of the 1994p quarter, which was minted during a time when the Philadelphia Mint was producing coins at a high volume. Yet amidst this routine production, a small number of quarters emerged with significant mistakes that transformed an ordinary coin into an invaluable collector's item, and the most notable of these errors includes the infamous double die obverse, where the design elements such as George Washington's profile, the date, and lettering appear double due to a misalignment in the die during the striking process, creating a visually striking effect that immediately alerts collectors and experts that this coin is far from ordinary. In addition to the double die, some of these 1994p quarters also exhibit striking anomalies such as off-center strikes, where the coin's design is noticeably shifted to one side, leaving part of the rim missing or showing an incomplete edge, which not only adds to the coin's uniqueness but also significantly boosts its market value because coins with perfect, centered strikes are far more common, while those with dramatic off-center characteristics are exceedingly rare and highly sought after by collectors who prize the unusual and the one-of-a-kind. Another fascinating aspect that makes the 1994p quarter a multi-million-dollar treasure is the occurrence of planchet errors, where the metal blank that becomes the coin either had impurities, cracks, or was improperly prepared, resulting in coins that may be thinner in some areas, thicker in others, or even contain small holes or deformities, and these imperfections, far from detracting from the coin's value, actually enhance its desirability because they represent a deviation from standard minting processes that collectors can trace and verify, and when authenticated, such coins often command astronomical prices at auction, as is the case with this particular 1994p quarter. Furthermore, some specimens of this coin are known to display die cracks and die clashes, where the working dies themselves had developed minor fissures or collided in unexpected ways, leaving distinctive lines, marks, or ghostly impressions of design elements from the opposing die imprinted on the coin, and these characteristics are meticulously studied by numismatists to verify authenticity, document provenance, and establish rarity, making each coin a tangible piece of minting history and a unique artifact from a specific moment in time at the Philadelphia Mint. Beyond the technical minting errors, the 1994 P quarter is also notable for a subset of coins that experienced environmental or post-striking anomalies, such as striking on a slightly contaminated or greasy die, which caused unusual textures, luster anomalies, or unexpected toning on the coin's surface, giving each affected coin a one-of-a-kind appearance that cannot be replicated and further fueling its appeal to serious collectors who understand that rarity is determined not just by survival, but by distinctiveness and provenance, and these variations have been carefully documented in numismatic guides and error coin catalogs, adding layers of verification and legitimacy that support its $15 million valuation. The market for such rare coins is driven not only by scarcity, but also by the stories and research surrounding them. And in the case of the 1994 P quarter, the combination of double die, off-center strikes, planchet errors, die cracks, die clashes, and unique surface anomalies creates an extraordinarily rare convergence of factors that together make this coin a centerpiece for any collection, an investment-grade numismatic asset, and a tangible connection to the complex and fascinating world of coin minting, where minute variations in machinery, materials, and human oversight can produce objects of immense historical and financial value. Collectors and investors who have acquired examples of this quarter have witnessed firsthand how the coin's value appreciates dramatically because each error is verifiable, documented, and exceedingly difficult to counterfeit, and auction houses specializing in rare coins often present these quarters with extensive provenance, certification from top grading services, and detailed photographic records that underscore their authenticity and uniqueness, making the bidding process intensely competitive and driving prices into the multi-million-dollar range, as demonstrated by recent sales. The significance of the 1994 P quarter also extends to its educational and research value, as numismatists study it to better understand minting processes, error causation, and quality control measures at the Philadelphia Mint during the early 1990s, and each specimen provides clues about die wear, striking pressure, planchet preparation, and environmental conditions that contribute to errors, creating a deeper appreciation for the technical precision required in coin production and the rare instances when human or mechanical factors align to produce a coin of extraordinary rarity and beauty. In addition, the allure of owning a coin valued at $15 million lies not only in its monetary worth, but also in the prestige and status it confers upon collectors, as few pieces in numismatic history command such extraordinary attention. And the 1994 P quarter has become a symbol of the extraordinary possibilities inherent in coin collecting, demonstrating that even a seemingly modern coin can transform into a legendary treasure due to its mistakes, uniqueness, and documented rarity, inspiring collectors to meticulously examine rolls of coins in hopes of discovering the next great rarity, while simultaneously fueling the story-driven excitement of the hobby. Every detail of this quarter, from the subtle doubling on the obverse to the slight misalignment in the strike, the faint die cracks, the minor planchet imperfections, and the unusual toning, contributes to a narrative that numismatists cherish, and these imperfections are not merely defects but markers of history, each telling a story of production, oversight, and chance that cannot be replicated, making the coin irreplaceable and justifying the staggering $15 million valuation, and the market continues to respond to these factors with fervor as collectors, investors, and enthusiasts seek certified, authenticated specimens for private collections, museum exhibits, and prestigious auctions, where each sale adds to the coin's storied legacy and cements its status as one of the most valuable modern American quarters ever produced. Ultimately, the 1994 quarter dollar exemplifies how errors, anomalies, and minting quirks transform ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures, offering collectors a tangible connection to the history of American coinage, the artistry and engineering of the Philadelphia Mint, and the thrill of discovering something truly rare and valuable. And as we explore every facet of this coin's errors, mistakes, and remarkable characteristics, it becomes clear that its $15 million valuation is not just a reflection of scarcity, but of the combined technical, historical, and collector-driven factors that make it a singularly remarkable numismatic achievement, one that will continue to captivate and inspire the coin-collecting community for generations to come. And this is why the 1994 quarter remains an icon of modern numismatics, a story of mistakes turned into monumental value, and a shining example of the incredible possibilities that exist within the world of rare coin collecting. Next, 1972 wheat penny. The most exciting deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins here on the Coins Explorer, where today we are going to explore one of the most extraordinary and highly sought-after coins in modern numismatic history, the 1972 quarter dollar, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but holds within it a story of mistakes, errors, and minting anomalies that have elevated its value to an astonishing $8 million for the most pristine and error-laden specimens, making it a true crown jewel for collectors who understand the thrill of rare coin hunting. Now, the 1972 quarter was produced by the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the absence of a mint mark, and it belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, and over the decades, countless quarters were struck, making most of them common and circulating widely. Yet, in the early 1970s, certain production errors began to emerge due to changes in die preparation, metal composition, and the sheer volume of coins being minted, which created opportunities for unique anomalies. Among the most famous errors for the 1972 quarter are double dies, misaligned dies, and striking defects that affect the obverse, reverse, or even both sides of the coin. Doubling can occur when the die that strikes the coin shifts slightly between strikes, creating the appearance of a duplicate image, and in the case of the 1972 Philadelphia quarters, a small subset exhibits pronounced doubling on the inscriptions, especially on the word Liberty and the date 1972, which instantly catches the eye of collectors and graders because such doubling is extremely rare for this year and can dramatically increase a coin's value if it is in high-grade condition. Furthermore, there are also instances of die cracks and die breaks in 1972 quarters, which appear as raised lines or unexpected ridges on the surface of the coin, sometimes forming small letters or even patterns that are completely unintentional but highly collectible because each crack or break is unique and essentially a one-of-a-kind fingerprint of the minting process. Another fascinating error observed in some 1972 quarters is the off-center strike, where the coin blank, or planchet, was not properly aligned with the striking die, resulting in a portion of the design being missing or partially impressed on the coin. Off-center strikes are highly desirable among collectors because they are visually dramatic and showcase the imperfection inherent in mass coin production, and when combined with other anomalies, such as double dies or die cracks, the value of the coin can skyrocket into the millions. In addition to physical errors, 1972 quarters also experienced a phenomenon called broad strikes, where the collar that normally restrains the metal during striking was absent or malfunctioned, allowing the planchet to expand outward beyond its normal diameter, creating a noticeably larger coin with a distorted appearance. Broad-struck quarters are exceedingly rare because the U.S. Mint has strict quality control procedures, and finding one in excellent condition is like discovering a treasure hidden in plain sight. These broad-struck specimens can fetch eye-watering sums at auction, sometimes reaching millions of dollars depending on rarity and condition. The metal composition of the 1972 quarter is another aspect contributing to its collectible status, as it is composed of a copper-nickel clad, and while most quarters from this period share the same alloy, subtle variations in the bonding of the layers or small errors during the cladding process can create unique visual effects, such as lamination errors, where the metal layers partially separate, resulting in a peeling or flaking surface. These laminations are considered major errors and are highly prized among serious numismatists. In fact, coins with multiple combined errors, such as a double die paired with a lamination or off-center strike, are exceedingly rare, and these combinations often drive the coin's auction value into the multi-million-dollar range. Another intriguing aspect of the 1972 quarter's collectible appeal is the die rotation error, which occurs when the obverse and reverse dies are not perfectly aligned, causing the reverse to appear rotated in relation to the obverse when the coin is flipped. These rotational errors are often subtle, but can be dramatic in certain degrees of misalignment, and they further contribute to the coin's uniqueness. Collectors prize coins with unusual rotations because they are anomalies that cannot be replicated intentionally without sophisticated minting equipment. Beyond errors and striking anomalies, condition plays a monumental role in the coin's value, and the 1972 quarter has been graded in top-tier categories such as MS67, MS68, and even the extremely rare MS69 or MS70 by leading grading companies. Coins in these conditions are virtually flawless, with sharp details, full mint luster, and no noticeable imperfections. And when such high-grade specimens also display a recognized error, their market value can increase exponentially, reaching the extraordinary $8 million figure that makes the 1972 quarter an ultimate prize for collectors willing to pay top dollar for perfection and rarity. Provenance and historical significance also contribute to the coin's allure, as collectors are often drawn to coins that have documented pedigrees, such as being part of famous collections, winning awards at major numismatic exhibitions, or being certified by top grading companies. A well-documented history increases buyer confidence and can add a premium to the coin's price. Moreover, the excitement surrounding the 1972 quarter is not just limited to traditional errors. Some quarters exhibit what are called strike doubling patterns on smaller elements of the design, such as Washington's hair or the eagle on the reverse, and these micro-level anomalies, while subtle, are closely scrutinized by professional graders and die specialists, and coins displaying these features are cataloged meticulously, increasing their rarity value. The psychological appeal of owning such a coin cannot be overstated. Collectors are not merely acquiring metal and design, they are acquiring a story, a tangible piece of minting history that represents human error, mechanical imperfection, and the chance occurrence that elevates an everyday object into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Additionally, the market dynamics for rare quarters like the 1972 are influenced by scarcity, demand from high-net-worth collectors, and the increasing recognition of modern era coins as serious investments. Auctions for these coins are highly competitive, with bidders often spanning the globe, reflecting a robust and passionate collector community. In terms of specific examples, certain 1972 Philadelphia quarters with pronounced double dies and minor off-center strikes have sold privately for millions, setting benchmarks that solidify the coin's status as one of the most valuable modern quarters. Numismatic publications and expert analyses frequently highlight these coins as must-have for error coin enthusiasts, and their stories are recounted in collector circles to emphasize the rarity and unpredictability of the minting process. In conclusion, the 1972 quarter dollar exemplifies the extraordinary value that can be created by minting errors, human oversight, and mechanical anomalies, combined with exceptional preservation, historical pedigree, and market demand. making it a coin that is not only beautiful to study but also incredibly lucrative, a coin that turns the ordinary act of collecting into a high-stakes pursuit with the potential for enormous financial reward. And it serves as a testament to why collectors remain endlessly fascinated by coins from all eras, always searching for the rare, the unusual, and the million-dollar anomalies that transform a simple piece of currency into a legendary treasure of numismatics. Next, 1995 quarter dollar USA coin. The rarest and most valuable coins in American history. Today we are diving deep into the story of the 1995 quarter, a coin that has captivated the numismatic world and commands an astonishing value of $4 million due to its remarkable errors and minting anomalies. And if you thought modern coins couldn't hold surprises, think again. Because the 1995 quarter is a perfect example of how a single production mistake can transform a seemingly ordinary circulation coin into a priceless collector's item. This coin, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, was intended to be a standard 25-cent piece, featuring the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse and the iconic eagle on the reverse. Yet, what makes it extraordinary is the combination of minting errors and unusual die characteristics that are incredibly rare and highly sought after. Among the most notable errors observed on this coin are die cracks, doubled dies, and off-center strikes. Each of these errors individually can increase a coin's value significantly, but when combined in a single specimen, they create a numismatic masterpiece that collectors are willing to pay millions to acquire. Die cracks occur when the die used to strike the coin develops fissures due to stress and repeated use, resulting in raised lines or irregularities on the coin's surface. In the case of the 1995 quarter, some coins exhibit prominent die cracks running across both the obverse and reverse, creating a unique pattern that can never be exactly replicated. Doubled dies, another critical factor in its value, are caused when the die imprints the design onto the coin more than once, slightly misaligned, producing the appearance of doubled images. Doubling can be seen in the lettering, the date, or even in George Washington's profile, and on the 1995 quarter, this anomaly is exceptionally rare, and when present, it adds exponentially to the coin's worth. Off-center strikes, although less dramatic than some other minting errors, contribute significantly to rarity when combined with die cracks and doubling. In an off-center strike, part of the design is missing or shifted, giving the coin a distorted yet fascinating appearance. Each of these anomalies represents a moment when the minting process diverged from perfection. And because minting thousands of coins each day involves machines that normally operate with incredible precision, finding a coin like the 1995 quarter with multiple errors intact is extraordinarily uncommon. Beyond these primary errors, other contributing factors to the coin's value include its condition and preservation. A coin that has avoided circulation, retaining sharp detail and minimal wear, is exponentially more valuable than one that has been handled extensively, and in the case of the 1995 quarter, the specimens commanding millions are usually graded at the top of the scale by professional grading services, often receiving perfect or near-perfect grades, which certify their condition, authenticity, and rarity. This certification not only reassures collectors, but also dramatically increases market value. Another intriguing aspect of the 1995 quarter is the potential for varieties that remain undiscovered or unrecognized. Numismatic experts constantly study coin batches from the Philadelphia Mint, comparing die markers, minting anomalies, and subtle differences in design that could indicate previously unknown varieties. Each new discovery has the potential to shift the market and make a coin like the 1995 quarter even more coveted. The history of the Philadelphia Mint itself plays a role in the allure, as it has a long-standing reputation for both mass production and occasional striking errors, and because coins from this era are generally abundant in circulation. Finding one with such significant anomalies is like discovering a needle in a haystack. The combination of scarcity, historical intrigue, and visual Uniqueness makes the 1995p quarter a centerpiece for any serious collector. Collectors are drawn not only by the potential investment value, but also by the story each coin tells. From the moment it left the minting press to the discovery of its errors decades later, each imperfection adds character and authenticity. And some coins even show evidence of multiple minting attempts where the die misalignment caused layering of the design, further enhancing the coin's complexity and desirability. Auctions for these quarters can become highly competitive, with bids skyrocketing as enthusiasts, professional collectors, and investors vie for ownership, sometimes surpassing $4 million in transactions, demonstrating that the value of a coin is not just in its metal content but in its rarity, history, and the excitement it generates within the collecting community. Experts emphasize that owning a coin like the 1995p quarter is akin to holding a tangible piece of history, a moment when human manufacturing, machine precision, and chance intersected to create a singular collectible, and because these coins are officially recognized by numismatic authorities and often showcased in museums or private collections, they gain additional prestige and legitimacy, which in turn drives market demand, in addition to the well-documented errors like die cracks, double dies, and off-center strikes. Some quarters also feature micro-variations in lettering, min-mark size, and surface texture that are only visible under magnification, adding another layer of rarity that serious collectors and professional graders scrutinize. Even slight anomalies can make a coin unique, and in a market driven by scarcity and condition, every detail matters. The story of the 1995p quarter also highlights the unpredictable nature of coin collecting, where coins that were once considered ordinary can suddenly gain extraordinary value as errors are discovered and verified. This unpredictability fuels excitement in the hobby and encourages ongoing research, trading, and auction activity, and it emphasizes the importance of examining coins carefully before dismissing them as common, further increasing the 1995p quarter's legendary status among collectors. The coin's appeal is not just technical but also emotional, as many collectors feel a sense of accomplishment and pride when acquiring such a rare piece. Owning a coin worth millions is a testament to patience, knowledge, and sometimes pure luck, and the 1995p quarter embodies the thrill of discovery, the satisfaction of rarity, and the tangible connection to American minting history. Its high valuation also serves as a fascinating case study in how numismatic markets operate, where scarcity, condition, documented errors, and collector interest converge to create staggering monetary worth. Educational resources and expert analyses often highlight this quarter to demonstrate the intricacies of minting processes, error classifications, and market dynamics, making it a cornerstone example for both novice collectors and seasoned investors. Beyond its monetary and historical significance, the 1995p quarter captures the imagination because each coin is visually distinct, with raised lines from die cracks, slight doubling in key features, and occasional off-center impressions that make no two coins exactly alike. This individuality, combined with verified rarity, is what elevates it to a multi-million-dollar collectible. In conclusion, the 1995p quarter is far more than a simple 25-cent piece. It is a window into minting history, a testament to the allure of imperfection, and a symbol of the extraordinary potential hidden within everyday objects. Valued at $4 million due to its rare errors, exceptional condition, and unmatched appeal to collectors worldwide, it continues to spark fascination, intense auction competition, and ongoing study, proving that even in modern coinage, rarity, meticulous examination, and a keen eye for anomalies can transform a seemingly ordinary coin into one of the most desirable and valuable treasures in the world of numismatics. Last 1987 D quarter dollar USA coin. The most another exciting journey into the world of rare and valuable coins right here on the Coins Explorer, where today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and eye-popping discoveries in modern US coinage, the 1987 quarter dollar that has stunned collectors and investors alike by reaching an astonishing $10 million in value due to its unique errors and mistakes. A coin that has sparked countless conversations, debates, and dreams of finding such a rare gem in your own change. And what makes this particular 1987 quarter so incredibly valuable is not just its age or the fact that it is a Denver minted coin, but the extraordinary anomalies it presents. Anomalies that are extremely rare in U.S. quarters from the late 20th century, making it a true holy grail for numismatists and investors who understand the intricate world of mint errors. Starting with the most noticeable and widely discussed mistake, the striking error that left multiple overlapping impressions on the coin's surface, creating what collectors call a double die effect, which in this case manifests on both the obverse and reverse sides, meaning that the iconic profile of George Washington on the front and the eagle on the back both display subtle but unmistakable doubling of features that are invisible to casual observers yet unmistakable under magnification, giving the coin a visual depth and rarity that few quarters possess. And these doubled images are not random. They are the result of an incredibly precise misalignment in the minting press, a rare mechanical accident that occurred at the Denver Mint during a time when quality control was extremely strict, making surviving specimens with such errors exceedingly rare. And on top of that, this 1987 quarter also exhibits an off-center strike, a second critical error that further boosts its value and desirability, where the coin blank did not sit properly in the press, causing the design to be struck significantly off-center, leaving part of the rim incomplete and portions of the lettering and numbers cut off, which collectors consider highly collectible because each off-center strike is unique, and no two are exactly alike, creating a one-of-a-kind piece that is both a historical artifact and a visually stunning example of minting imperfections. And to make this coin even more fascinating, there are specimens of the 1987 quarter that also show die cracks and small planchet flaws, tiny fissures that appear on the coin's surface as a result of stress in the metal during striking, which for collectors adds another layer of rarity and intrigue, because coins with multiple errors, such as a double die combined with an off-center strike and die cracks, are exponentially rarer than coins with a single anomaly. And each of these imperfections is meticulously documented by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC, which have verified these high-value examples, ensuring authenticity and providing the assurance that collectors and investors need before committing millions of dollars. And the history behind this coin is equally captivating because the 1987 quarter was produced in a period of extremely high mintages, with billions of quarters struck a year, which makes the survival of such rare errors even more incredible. Because while millions of ordinary 1987 quarters circulate in pocket change, only a handful of these error-laden coins are known to exist, creating a scarcity that is the very foundation of their massive market value. And when we examine why collectors pay up to $10 million for one of these coins, it becomes clear that rarity combined with documented errors and the aesthetic appeal of the anomalies drives this astronomical valuation. As collectors not only want a coin that is historically significant but also one that is visually striking and scientifically verified, and each error tells a story about the minting process, the human and mechanical factors involved, and the incredible improbability of these coins surviving the production and circulation process without being destroyed or altered, making each 1987 quarter with these errors not just a piece of currency but a piece of history, a testament to the unexpected beauty of mistakes. And for investors, the financial aspect is compelling because coins like this consistently appreciate in value, with the $10 million price tag reflecting both the rarity and the intense demand among high-end collectors and private investors who understand that a coin with multiple verified errors from the Denver Mint in 1987 is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And the market for such coins is global, with private auctions, estate sales, and specialized coin shows serving as the primary venues where these coins change hands, often in discreet, highly competitive bidding environments where the provenance, grading, and visual condition of the coin are scrutinized to ensure authenticity and justify the multimillion-dollar price. And beyond the financials, the 1987 D-quarter is also a fascinating study in the types of mint errors that can occur, ranging from die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and even slight variations in metal composition due to planchet inconsistencies, each of which contributes to the coin's uniqueness and the thrill of discovery for collectors. And the excitement is amplified by the fact that spotting such an error in everyday circulation is almost impossible, which fuels the imagination of numismatists, hobbyists, and treasure hunters alike, envisioning the day they might stumble upon such a coin in a jar of change or at a coin dealer. And collectors often examine these coins under magnification to document every detail, noting the exact placement of doubling on letters, the degree of off-centering, and any other minor irregularities that set each coin apart, turning the study of these coins into both a scientific and artistic pursuit. And another reason this 1987 D-quarter commands such an extraordinary value is the historical context of the 1980s, a period when coin collecting surged in popularity, and mistakes from this era are relatively rare compared to earlier decades because the U.S. Mint implemented stricter quality controls, making any surviving error from 1987 not only a curiosity, but a truly exceptional collectible. And when considering the possibilities of future value, experts argue that coins like this will only become more desirable over time, as the number of known specimens is finite and the demand among high-net-worth collectors grows, solidifying its status as both an investment and a museum-worthy artifact. And this coin has inspired a new generation of collectors to pay closer attention to the coins in their possession, to carefully inspect each quarter for signs of anomalies, and to understand that even coins that appear common at first glance may hold hidden treasures, potentially worth millions if they exhibit the same rare combination of errors as this 1987 D-quarter. And it is also a reminder of the incredible precision required in coin production and how even the most carefully controlled processes can produce unexpected and extraordinary results, creating coins that transcend their face value to become objects of fascination, history, art, and immense financial worth. And for those who study mint errors, this 1987 D-quarter exemplifies the convergence of rarity, visual appeal, and market demand, demonstrating why the coin has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide and why it continues to dominate conversations in numismatic circles. And it is not just the errors themselves that matter, but the documented verification, the rarity of survival, the combination of multiple mistakes on a single coin, and the story behind its creation at the Denver Mint that together make this coin a masterpiece of modern minting anomalies. And in conclusion, the 1987 D-quarter dollar valued at $10 million stands as a testament to the unexpected ways mistakes can create incredible value, combining the allure of rarity, the fascination of minting errors, the excitement of potential discovery, and the practical reality of investment-grade numismatics, ensuring that this coin will remain one of the most sought-after and discussed modern U.S. coins for collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike, inspiring countless dreams of finding the next multi-million-dollar coin hidden in plain sight.